Okay, I think that's the signal. Okay, so for this afternoon, I will discuss in broader aspect viruses and worms, di ba? It's sila these are uh, these are what are they? Uh, two of the most common malware in kumbaga documented and reported. So you have viruses and worms, and then later on meron yung mga iba. Okay. So viruses and worms are perhaps the most popular types of malware that we know. So when we say virus, basically what it infects are applications and files by inserting itself in their code. So an important point to remember is that viruses they will always require the infected application or the file to be executed, which means they cannot run on their own. So gaya ng sinabi ko nung una, without human intervention, si virus is wala din siya. Okay? So they need the user to actually really open the file or run an executable in order to trigger their action. There are two main functions for a virus. The first one is replication. Pag sinabi natin replication, it means the reproduction is, kumbaga, it conducts or it provides self-reproduction capacity but on a rate of exponential. Ibig sabihin, napaka-rapid yung rapid yung increase niya, di ba? It's not just a simple 1 times 1 or 1 plus 1, okay? So if you open an infected file, it's not going to create another virus infected file. It may create hundreds of them, okay? So that expansion is exponential, hindi na siya linear. Ibig sabihin, it's not on a flat rate. It's really going up, okay? The second function of a virus is to cause destruction, which can be through corruption of data files or applications. Sige, let's have the first question. When can we say na a file is corrupt already or is already corrupted? Sige nga, anyone from the group? When can we say na the file or a certain file is corrupted? Sige daw. Anyone? Anyone? Walang sumasagot. O, bakit walang sumasagot? Paano mo masasabi na si isang file is corrupted? Di ba? Ano kaya yung mga indicators, guys? Or based on your experience, ano yung mga indicators na? Sige, we have Moises. Sige.
Sir, kanang di na ma-open bitaw nimo ang file, sir. Ana sir, sakto na, sir.
Okay. Ano muna tayo? Magtagalog tayo, di ba? Ano bang nangyari kay Moises? Nawala yung ating natin. Pero tama yung sinabi ni Moises. One of the indicators is that you are not able to open the file. Okay? Sometimes then, like for example, you can play the video file, di ba? So, parang ganun. Okay? So tama yung answer ni Moses. So si Moses is present today. Labadisos, present today. Sige. Okay. Let's now go to the second one. Okay. We have a general purpose for viruses. It has actually three. We have steal data, launch ransomware, and DOS, denial of service attacks, tapos just to annoy. Yung sa steal data naman, di ba, yung goal niya is not technically like the virus itself will steal the data. It will open a backdoor channel that will allow remote hackers to get the data or important information from your files or from your computer. Yung ransomware naman is that isa siya sa mga kumbaga considered to be elements when a ransomware attack is being launched. Like I think part siya ng mga preliminary activities. Okay. So once your system is infected by a virus, there's a possibility na you'll be part of the ransomware attack or you will be the victim. Okay? Kasi nga, a ransomware attack can also mean na you will be part of a denial of service attack, a distributed denial service of attack. The third one naman is ito yung pinaka, kumbaga, it's common but we don't know na ito pala is, kumbaga, isa sa mga part, kumbaga, ng mga general purpose nila. The third one is just to annoy. Okay? I don't know if you're familiar with this kind of error bitaw. Wait muna ha. I will show you an example error, guys. Na, nasan ba yun na? Wait muna ha. Okay. Look at this one, guys. Are you familiar with this one? Or have you tried or have you experienced this one? Sige daw di. Thumbs up if nakaabot pa kayo ng ganitong problema. Sige nga, thumbs up nga. Yeah, okay. I think si Stephen lang, sila, okay. Di ba? This one is an example of kumbaga, a virus written on a script. Tapos yung goal niya is just to, di ba, instead of clicking okay, ang nangyayari is that dumadami. Di ba? That's what you call exponential as well. So, sometimes may mga tao na nagpa-prank or your co-workers or whatsoever na they will just provide you with an executable script and then a dialog box will pop out and then ganito yung nangyayari. Ang ending, it covers all of your desktop and then you get annoyed about it, di ba? So that's one example of one of the purpose of the virus. Pero yan yung pinaka-list niya na purpose. Kaya technically speaking, si virus, ang goal niya talaga dito is to really steal data and then to launch other not deadly but destructive services. Okay? We have here different types of virus. We have boot sector virus, we have macrovirus, we have stealth virus, we have polymorphic, and then we have encrypted virus. Si boot sector virus naman, this one, ito yung example niyo guys. This one infects your master boot record of the hard disk. Diba? Ito yung ginagamit natin when we turn on our computer. Tapos ito yung mga pre-activities bago ka pa before you land to your desktop interface. Okay? So, ang gumagawa niyan is si master boot record. So, ang ginagawa dito ni virus na boot sector is that instead of the normal process na merong bootloader tapos OS kernel, tapos saka ka pa makakapaggawa ng kahit na ano sa data. Ang ginagawa niya is that iniiba niya yung, what you call this one? Iniiba niya yung boot priority, and then ang ending is that nauuna yung virus. So every time you turn on your computer, si virus yung unang binabasa ng OS kernel mo, tsaka pa si bootloader, tsaka ka pa nakakagamit ng yung PC. So sometimes, pag boot sector virus infected ang PC mo, you can no longer use it, or if you can use it, it would take time bitaw for you to be able to use it. Okay, instead, for example, yung normal opening of like turning on the computer would take you 5 minutes. Ang nangyayari, umaabot kaya ng 20 minutes, di ba? So this is an example of indicator na you are infected for boot sector virus. So actually, you can easily detect and remove it. And then the safest way talaga is to make everything sure is that you reformat your computer. But again, that's the last option baya. We are taught by our SAM baya na it's always, tawag dito, it's always the last, okay? The last solution na we can provide. We also have macrovirus. Si macrovirus naman, it's very specific to Microsoft Documents and spreadsheets, yung Microsoft Word natin and Microsoft Excel. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng macros? Pag macros kasi, di ba, let's say for example, ito yung itsura niya guys. So guys, example di ba si Microsoft Excel, di ba ganito yung itsura ni Microsoft Excel? Ay, ito pala di ba ganito yung itsura ni Microsoft Excel, di ba? Meron siyang rows, meron siyang columns, and then you get to record everything. So, ibig sabihin, you're trying to process data on it. Si macro naman is that instead of using bitaw directly yung rows and columns, they will provide you with interface. Diba? Let's say, for example, gusto mong i-record ang lahat ng what do you call this one? Gusto mong i-record ang lahat ng expenses mo for today, 'di ba? So, ang nangyayari is that instead bitaw na you are just doing a simple Excel, ang nangyayari is that you are provided with an interface, 'di ba? So parang CRUD's bitaw na operation. So merong ganitong feature si Microsoft Excel, and if it's infected or if you are macros infected na document, ang nangyayari dito is that ito bitaw, itong form na ito, this one, itong lagyan ko ng green bitaw, it will no longer run, di ba? So ibig sabihin, babalik ka na naman sa manual. Okay? So ang ano lang dito, kumbaga hindi siya masyadong malala yung damage niya kasi nga yung target audience niya lang are those documents under Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. Okay? So another also indicator na your document is macro virus infected is that when tawag dito, when you are not permitted or you have limited access, and they will require you some permissions to access the file. Okay, so there are already ways naman, okay, provided by Microsoft when you are a victim of macro virus. Okay, but technically speaking, if hindi mo siya, like hindi siya updated, of course there are already different versions, progressive versions of this virus. Okay, nagets ba? Next, we have the stealth virus. The stealth virus naman is that this is a kind of virus that hides himself. Okay? Ang style niya ng pagtatago is dalawa. First one is that pwede niyang i-rename ang kanyang self, di ba? Kasi sometimes si antivirus, they will scan first if there are suspicious names that are also the same with what they have in their database. Okay? The second one is that this kind of virus moves from one disk to another. So sometimes kasi, di ba, depende na din sa preference ng tao. Si antivirus, pwede siyang mag-scan like the whole directory or a specific folder or directory. So ang ginagawa ni stealth virus, kasi nga si stealth virus is that it learns from the community or the environment kung nasaan siya. So if napansin niya na, okay, may nagsascan dito na folder. So ang ginagawa ni stealth virus is that it will go to another folder. Okay? Nagets ba? And yung pinaka-worst talaga na process ni stealth virus is ito. So si stealth virus can lie bitaw or can kaya niyang gumawa ng ganitong scenario, guys. So for example, if the antivirus will request a particular file, di ba? A particular file to the OS. So ang ginagawa ni stealth virus is that instead of giving the infected file, di ba? Kasi nga ini-infect na niya yung disk manager. So instead of providing the infected file, ang pinapadala niya is itong clean file. So therefore, pagdating sa antivirus, wala na siyang sinasabi. Diba? Like, okay lang pala. Baka nagkamali lang siguro. Okay? But then again, si stealth virus, again tatlo siya. Pwede niyang i-rename ang kanyang sarili. Pwede siyang mag-move around other disks. The third one is it will tamper or it will provide unauthorized configurations to your OS. And then it will provide you with, or anyone that will provide for a specific infected file will not receive it. Okay? Yan yung si stealth virus. Ito naman, we have worms. See, worms, they are actually intertwined with the two. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Like sometimes people get confused kung ito ba is worm or a virus. So similar to virus, worms do not attach to a specific application. Ibig sabihin, they don't need human intervention. They are auto-triggered. And of course, they replicate and propagate independently. So ibig sabihin lang nito is that once they are triggered or once the application is triggered for yung script bitaw for worms, it's triggered, automatically it will replicate itself. Okay? Ang target lang, 'di ba? Ang pagkakaiba lang ni virus at saka ni worm is that si virus, yung target niya is yung unit. Okay? Kumbaga single target yung kung saan siya magaling. Si worm naman is that yung kaya niyang mag-bring down ng networks. Ibig sabihin, if your computer is connected to a local network infrastructure sa organization mo, tapos you are infected by a worm, there's a big possibility na the whole network will collapse kasi nga infected siya sa infected siya by the worm, and its purpose is to do network propagation that will not allow, or that will choke bitaw the network services of an organization. Okay? So medyo ano talaga si worm. Si My Doom of 2004, isa siya sa mga recorded worms. This one spread through email, okay, and it opened different channels that will allow hackers for email spamming, okay. Now, hindi lang si mga computers yung infected by or reported as infected by My Doom of 2004. Even tech giants like Microsoft and Google also reported na merong ginawang distributed denial of services attacks yung My Doom towards their network. And then their estimate damage is 3.8 billion. 38 billion. Diba? Imagine that's 2004. And if you will try to conceptualize that one or put that into context na ngayon yan, I think that's more than 100 na siya yun. Diba? So medyo, medyo malaki talaga yung damage pag worms. Again pag worms, ang target niyan is network. Pag virus, target niyan or yung paborito niyan is yung single unit, kumbaga. Okay? Now, we have here naman Trojans. I don't know if you're familiar with Trojans. Sige nga. Sino ang nakakapagsabi bakit ganito yung usual na logo ng Trojans? Sige nga. Sino? Si Labadisus para ba ang president ni karon? Sige nga. Yes, Roa.
Para sa akin, sir, based
Uy,
dun
hindi
sa
para sa-
history, sir,
Bakit kaya horse yung usual na representation ng Trojan?
kasi meron yung sa history, sir, na kabayo yung pinadala, sir, and then meron palang mga
Meron palang mga
kalaban sa loob,
Yan.
sir.
Yan. So, yung concept ni Trojan horse is galing sa Greek mythology, yung digmaan ng Greece between tama ba ako? Trojan versus Greek. Okay? So, I'll share something, guys. Ito yun, no? I'll share a video. Ayan. So, ito I get this from the movie Troy. Okay? So, ang nangyari, nasan ba yun? So, ito. So, di ba, the war between the two nation is, tawag dito? 10 years na, kumbaga. And, so, ang ginawa ni Greek is that they made a fool of the Trojans. So, ang ginawa dito, saan ba yun? Wait muna ha. Okay, look what happened here. Wait muna. Ito, di ba? Nagregalo ba't nawala? Wait muna. Ayan. Okay. Nagregalo si Greek ng isang malaking kabayo made of wood. And then without the Trojans knowing na meron palang mga Greek sa loob ng kabayo na yun. So ang ending dayon is that nakapasok itong kabayo. Tignan nyo dito ha. Kaya pakita na yung wait muna kasi hindi siya, gusto ko ipakita sa inyo kung ano itsura ng kabayo. Okay? Wait muna. Ito yung itsura ng kabayo, guys. And look what happened. Diba? So, yung wall kasi ni Troy is napakataas. Like it's really formidable. Like walang makakatalo. Like walang makakaakyat. Kumbaga nasa advantage yun sa kanila. So to get inside the Troy, kumbaga, ang nangyari is that pinapasok itong kabayo. Tapos, doon na lumabas yung mga Greeks. Tapos, pinagpapapatay yung mga Trojans. Nagets nyo na ba yung concept? Thumbs up daw if nagets nyo yung concept kung bakit sa kabayo yung tawag dito, yung logo ni Trojan Horse. Nagets nyo na? Okay, very good. Very good, very good. Okay, start na natin itong movie. Okay. So, tawag dito. So, coming from that, from that concept, si Trojan Horse is parang ganun din yung pagkakagawa niya. Okay? Or parang ganun din yung build niya, kung bakit ganun yung behavior niya. So, based on on that story, si Trojan Horse dayon or some hackers created the Trojan virus. Okay? The Trojan malware, di ba siya virus, sorry. The Trojan malware looks like a legitimate software to trick users. So most commonly, it spreads through phishing email and attachment. So, for example, your friend sent you an email, tapos you are requested na, okay, download mo tong game na to. But then, hindi mo alam na meron pala siyang, tawag dito, may add-ons pala siya na you need to install before you can install the game itself. So, ang nangyayari is that, of course, kasi nga, nanggaling sa friend mo, di ba? So, you opened it and then you tried to access it. And, of course, you installed it, di ba? So, ang nangyayari ngayon, instead na your goal is just to get the game and then play with it. Ang nangyari is that it opened a backdoor to a hacker or a remote hacker. And then ang ending na yun is that you will be part of their network na yun, or you can be the victim itself. Okay? So again, yung implementation ni Trojan is more on a remote access. Ibig sabihin, they will open the backdoor and then they will try to make some malicious activities remotely. Okay? We have here some actions or what are tawag dito, activities involved if you're infected by a Trojan malware. Ano yung mga possible bitaw na mga problema? Okay? So, if you're infected by Trojan malware, hackers can perform keylogging. They can do screenshots of what you are doing. They can even do screen recording of what you are doing. They can even copy, modify, or delete data. Okay? And of course, they can disrupt performance of computer systems or networks. Kasi nga, you provided them with permission, meaning pinapasok mo na. And of course, ito yung pinaka-worst talaga. Your system or your unit can be used to launch DDoS on target. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung gumagawa ng masama is that they will not be pinned down. Hindi sila mahanap. Kasi nga, ang naging channel nila to do the denial of service attack is yung computer mo or yung network mo. So ibig sabihin, ikaw yung matatag na gumagawa ng hacking. Okay? We also have advanced Trojans that can avoid or disable malware software. That's a high-end na dayon na Trojan malware. So, we have here an example of a Trojan malware called Dark Comet Rat. So, this is actually tawag dito, invented or developed by a French cybersecurity. Ang ginagawa dito is that it provides complete administrative control of your system. So basically, yung hacker that infected your system with Dark Comet Rat is that it can copy or modify the files you've had. It can even move files from your system onto theirs and vice versa. They can even execute commands remotely. And of course, they can do keyloggers so that whatever you type will be sent to them. They can even access your registry. Okay? So yan yung mga kumbaga disadvantage if you'll be infected by Dark Comet Rat. Okay? Now, how do we protect ourselves from this Trojan malware? So, ang ginagawa natin is that yung sinabi ko rin bitaw on our usual natin na discussion, never install software from untrusted sources. May it be directly or indirectly, di ba? Kahit na ang sinabi is that even sinabi sa iyo na this is coming from illegitimate software, 'di ba? Always go talaga to official, okay? Official website, okay? Also, avoid opening suspicious attachments. Okay. 'Di ba? So for example, if you receive an email, even if nasa ano mo talaga, nasa tawag dito, even if it's in your contact list, never open suspicious attachments. Okay? Always try to identify na is it an executable attachment, okay? And lastly, keep your antivirus updated. Remember, uh your antivirus is effective only until your last update, di ba? So ibig sabihin, kung may mga bagong virus na they have discovered or reported, and then you were not able, your antivirus was not able to solve it or prevent it, di ba? Ibig sabihin, hindi siya updated, okay? We now also have another set of famous of a famous set of malware. We have spyware, adware, and ransomware. Now, pag si spyware, diba, from the word itself, spy, they collect information from your PC without your consent. Ibig sabihin, ang ginagawa nila is that they just gather information, maybe necessary information for their advantage. So, ang ginagawa dito is that they collect your internet browsing habits, your credentials, and sometimes take some screenshots. Bakit kinakailangan yung internet browsing habits? It's because they sell your browsing pattern bitaw, your browsing behavior or your internet habit behavior to marketing agencies para they can create targeted market campaigns. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kung for example, in your browsing history, you always search for shoes, then technically speaking, yung gagawin nila na campaign is that more on shoes or targeted on your preference. Okay? So, ano yung mga nagiging benefit ng mga tawag dito? Ano yung mga benefit usually ng mga hackers if they will be doing spyware? So, for attackers, they will be able to steal and resell either maybe your credit card information, your personal information, personal accounts, diba? So they can use that one for stealing. And also for marketing companies, again, they can do targeted marketing, diba? Hindi mo lang like, for example, I don't know if you noticed this one na, but if, for example, yesterday, yung browsing experience mo is more on shoes, expect na either mamaya or mga mamayang hapon, most of the advertisements, most of the advertisements na you encounter are about shoes. Have you noticed that one? Dito, the thumbs up nga tayo if naka-experience tayo ng ganyan. Nakatry kayo na, for example, you mentioned about, for example, bags, school bags. Later on, masya ka na lang na bakit may mga advertisement about school bags. Diba? So, spyware is also a culprit for that one. So, we have here different types or flavors of spyware. We have browser session hijacking. We have cookies and web bugs. We have banking spyware and keyloggers. So, itong apat na to, ito yung mga usual implementation ng spyware. So, for example, let's have the browser session hijacking. We have, ang ginagawa dito is that they modify your user browser settings. They change your web page and then they redirect you to advertisement pages when you try to browse the internet. We also have yung cookies and web bugs. This affects cookies. So, alam naman natin, di ba, na yung cookies is that they are stored both on your system and of course, they're also stored as cache manata doon sa mga websites. So, whenever you visit a website, the website will typically generate a cookie with a specific ID on it and then store your preference. Now, itong cookie bitaw na generate ng website, is that it will be used to remember what are the different preferences you had. Like for example, when you visit Shopee, yung preference mo is that all of the products na dapat naka-display is within the geographical area of Luzon only, di ba? So there's a possibility na if you are infected by spyware, yung preference mo na yun is mapapalitan. Okay? Pwedeng ganyan yung scenario. Nagets ba? We also have here banking spyware. Si banking spyware naman, they target applications. They're interested in tracking. Okay? So for example, yung mga banking websites, ang purpose niya talaga dyan is that yung the usual one, they steal your credit card information, bank account information, and so on. So ang ginagawa nila dito is that they implement a software type of keyloggers that will basically record your keystrokes. And once this information has been captured, the information is exfiltrated to a remote malicious attacker. Okay, so again, we have browsing session hijackers or hijacking, we have cookies and web bugs, we have banking spyware, and of course, we have the keyloggers. Now, ito naman, we have adware. Adware is basically a malware that bombards users with unwanted ads. Ito yung example ng adware. I don't know if you have, if naka-experience ba kayo ng ganito? Eto. Have you tried this one, guys? Or have you seen this one bitaw before? Ito yung example, pinaka-famous talaga ito na scenario pag adware. Para meron kayong idea kung ano itsura ha. Wait muna kasi napakahina ng internet. Nasaan ba yun? Oops, nasaan ba yun? Wait muna ha. Okay. Ito yung tawag dito, old version of spyware, adware pala, sorry. Okay. 'Di ba nung una, or maybe I think I can have an example is that I think it's in the earliest bitaw versions of earliest days of the internet bitaw. You will notice bitaw na maraming napapop out, 'di ba? Dialog box. Pero right now, ngayon si computer at saka si web browser, very okay na yung pagkakagawa sa kanila kasi nga they always prevent yun any pop-up window, di ba? So wala na tayong nakikitang ganito. Yung usual ngayon nakikita sa dito example ng adware is ganit. I don't know if you notice this one. Ito yung usual bitaw na nangyayari. Oh. Okay, ayan. Ay, ayaw kita. Una. Bigyan kayo ng mga example para you will really know. So ito guys, ito yung example ng tawag dito. Yung adware bitaw. Like instead bitaw of you starting to download this one, marami ka pang dapat i-click bitaw para ma-download mo. Okay? Nagets ba? Yan yung sa adware. So, balik tayo dito sa ating definition ng adware. Adware is a malware that bombards user with unwanted ads. We have here indicators. Okay? Ang first one is that if your homepage is changed. For example, after you install this software na-shock nga lang, ayun kang, ba't hindi na google.com yung homepage ko? Iba na. Diba? So, as an example. Second one, an adware will redirect you to a different website. I don't know if you tried this one. Have you tried ito in Facebook na meron kang nagustuhan na post bitaw and then you would want to zoom it out tapos you need to click it and ang ending you are redirected to a Shopee store or a Lazada store? Thumbs up daw if you have. Ayun, nakatry si Ivy. How about the others? Di ba, matiwala ka, picture man to akong gituplok, di ba? So yan, that's also an indicator of an adware. And then, you also have it here, they sometimes require you to install plugins just to get whatever services you would want. Now, Si adware, even if it's a malware, hindi siya destructive in a way. Annoying talaga lang siya, 'di ba? Kasi nga yung purpose niya lang is for revenue generation. Kasi nga the more clicks, the more visits to their website, the more traffic, the more legit advertisements will come through to their website and more money, 'di ba? So, ang purpose lang ni adware is just to bombard yung target audience niya na hopefully or maybe they will buy the product or they will able to install it, di ba? So that's a point for them. That's adware. Now, how do we protect ourselves? Same lang din. Avoid installing unknown software talaga from unknown sources and disable browser extensions and reset your browser. So how do we what do you call this one? How do we make sure na yung mga extensions natin are safe? It's only safe if it's coming from the official store of the, for example, for Google Chrome dito, for Google Chrome, they have a store for browser extensions. If you would want naman to reset your browser, ang ginagawa is that sometimes Google Chrome will require you to sa ganagali relaunch your browser. Nakatry mo na sa kilid bitaw din kaya ingon nga relaunch your browser for update. And yung pinaka ano talaga is that you uninstall Google Chrome and then you install it again. Okay? So if you don't like naman doing number 2, you can have or you can avail Malwarebytes. Si Malwarebytes is that it's a free malware protection, anti-malware protection. Pero for ano lang siya, may limited lang siya na services. Pero yung mga basic services kaya niyang ibigay. Yung mga premium services, you need to pay for that one. Okay? So Malwarebytes is free. Okay? Now, we have also here yung ransomware. I think alam naman natin ito kung anong ibig sabihin ng ransomware. Si ransomware is that it's a type of malware that will encrypt the files of the business and then it will hold the business operations to a halt. Ibig sabihin, you will no longer, you can no longer use that one, di ba? Or the software itself. So, ang nangyayari dito is that once you get a contact, ang nangyayari dito is that you will be provided with the contact information. May ibibigay si hacker dito na contact information. And then they will tell you na contact this and then pay for this. So pag ganyan na yung mga sinasabi gali, you are now a victim of ransomware. Nagets nyo ba? So again, if usually kasi yung biktima ng ransomware are financial institutions or big organizations. So ang consequence niyan is that of course yung financial loss and pangalawa is that reputational loss. Ibig sabihin, people will tend to doubt na dayon whether to trust your company or not kasi nga naging victim kayo ng ransomware. Okay? So for prevention naman, be vigilant about indicators of compromise. And then always update your security tools. And yung pangatlo, for example, if you're a victim already of ransomware, di ba, ang hinahanap naman natin is yung encrypt keyman. You can go to www.nomoreransom.org and nonransom.kaspersky.com. Dito, yung website na to, they provide you with free encrypt key for as long as yung ransomware na nagbiktima sa inyo is documented as documented in mainstream or documented by academic institutions. Okay? So pwede din, hindi siya, like, it doesn't mean na victim ka ng ransomware is wala ka ng choice. Diba? So you can still do the 3. Okay? Now, we have here naman logic bombs and rootkits. Si logic bombs and rootkits naman is that ang nangyayari dito is that this kind of malware is created during development of the program. Okay? These are bits of malicious code that disrupts program and is triggered on a specific event. For example, gumawa yung programmer ng company ng isang software. Tapos, nilagyan niya ng logic na pagdating ng 12 midnight ng January 1, dapat hindi magamit yung software. That's an example of logic bomb implementation. Another one naman is, for example, a company that has a sales transactions, tapos nakuha niya yung 1,000 remark or 1,000 mark. So automatic, the system dayon will shut down. That's an example of logic bombs. Now, let's all remember na what makes logic bombs very dangerous, it's because it comes from the inside. Ibig sabihin, yung atake is hindi siya sa labas ng galing, nasa loob siya. They are actually sometimes yung mga hackers na ganito, they are disgruntled employees or yung mga employees bitaw na na-terminate ng company. So ang ginagawa nila is that they do the logic bombs. Okay? So they have ang advantage lang sa kanila is that they have insider knowledge. And of course, they have pinpointed or determined already security weaknesses within the organization. So that's why bitaw na if an IT personnel will resign or will be terminated or will leave the company, you need to make sure talaga na lahat ng credentials are up to date, lahat ng credentials na pasa sa iyo. And of course, lahat ng mga particular vulnerabilities identified by the IT department should be addressed as early as before siya mag-resign. Diba? Kasi nga, doon sa possibility na babalikan kayo. Yan yung logic bombs. Basta yung purpose niya is that once na-trigger itong event na to, bawal nyo nang gamitin ang system. Diba? Yan yung sa logic bombs. Nagets ba? And we also have here rootkits. Si rootkits naman is that it's a higher form of malware. Kasi nga, by level na siya umaatake, guys. Okay? Once they are inside na gali, rootkits will really go for those the level wherein yung privilege niya is parang super admin. Okay? Kasi nga it can allow someone to remotely control the system in a particular mode na hindi mo malalaman. Okay? You also have here, it conceals malware and keyloggers, trojans, and viruses. Bakit hindi tawag dito? Not bakit, but because mahirap i-identify whether si rootkit is existing ba siya. Sometimes is that what you do is you do a baseline monitoring. Ibig sabihin, you identify what's normal in your computer. And if there's something wrong na gali, you then try to do some you do some memory dump analysis para you will try to identify dahil na okay, ganito yung memory consumption namin, and then nag-spike siya kumbaga. Ibig sabihin merong something wrong. Okay? You can also, or part also of consequences na meron si rootkits is that sometimes the user will be required to completely rebuild the entire system, which is a bad scenario to start with. So, yung best defense natin is that we need to keep our OS and applications patch up to date kasi nga sila yung mga target. Okay? Sila yung mga target audience. Now, to better understand rootkits, we have here a ring structure. Okay? So, si ring structure, meron tayong 4, guys. Okay? We have it here. So, basically what happens is that we have different rings and each ring has different level of privileges. So our operating system kernel, which is the brain of the OS and which needs to be loaded always in the memory, resides on ASAN, ring 0. Okay? This represents the highest level of privilege on a system, and then it has complete administrative control on your system. So as the ring number increases, let's remember, diba, the more you go away to ring 0, the more it decreases privileges. It means na ring 1 has more privilege than ring 2, which has more privileges than ring 3. So we also have here device drivers and other firmware located at ring 1 and 2. But user applications are located in ring 3, which has least privilege compared to the others. Now, this ring structure has been designed in order to ensure safety. We don't want to provide user applications, di ba? Alam naman natin to. We don't want to provide user applications with complete admin control of our OS. Kasi nga, they're not on the same ring. So now what happens is that the OS obviously has access to everything and it can perform any tasks on your system. But however, yung user naman, user application, it has only limited privileges. So what happens is that when a user application needs to access a system file or do some functionality which requires elevated privileges, ang nangyayari dito is that they call to OS located in ring 0, which then do the task if it is involved or if it's allowed. So for example, it can be fetching a file or launching a service. So this is how the ring structure works. Okay. Now, our rootkits could also reside in the user ring. Di ba? So yung user ring natin is number 2. So these are called user mode rootkits. They run in least privilege ring and they have multiple sources to launch infections. However, generally speaking, their damage potential is quite limited compared doon sa nasa ring 0. Okay? So, you also have it here, yung nasa ring 2 naman. Okay? So, nasan ba yun? Again, remember, the more you increase by in number, the more less yung privilege na pinoprovide. Okay? Nagets ba? So for example, we have it here. Ito naman sa number 3. We have hardware or firmware rootkits, which basically targets device firmware. So for example, the device drivers in our PC, sometimes, for example lang ito nawawala or na-disable yung driver. And yung sometimes yung cause niyan is yung rootkit. And may prevention the solution for that one is just reinstall the driver lang na yun. But then again, expect na ulitin din niya yung process. Okay? Then we also have yung bootkits. Ito naman, this basically infect master boot record, yung sinabi ko kanina. And then sometimes used to advance other malware and type of bootkits that are loaded in the memory whenever the system boots or turn on. So ring 0, you have kernel level. Ring 2, we have, yung ring 1 pala, sorry. We have the user mode rootkits. Ring 3 pala. Tama ko, ring 3. Yung number 3 naman, yung ring 1, we have hardware and firmware rootkits. And then we also have bootkits as well. So ito yung structure ng rootkits. Again, ang si rootkits, it's very they are doing stealth, di ba? Meaning nakatago sila. Okay? So let's have a summary of what we have discussed for malware. Again, si virus, it self-replicates, but then yung target niya is that system and then data. Si worms naman is that they replicate, but then the target is yung network. Okay? Si Trojans naman, it means na it looks like legitimate software to trick the users to install malware and backdoors. Si spyware naman is that it's used to steal confidential data, such as your browsing history. Si ransomware naman encrypts and locks down files, and then it will demand you for a payment. Si rootkits, they are hidden malwares that infects privileged computers. And the last one, we have logic bombs. Logic bombs on a particular scenario triggers based on event or date, diba? And then it will cause destruction as well. So that's for the different types of malware. We will now proceed to the presentation of output ninyo. Nakapasa na ba kayo ng guys? Na output? Hindi pa. Hello? Thumbs up daw tayo daw, be? Okay, nakapasa na daw sila. Sige. I'll try to get the Google form and then try natin if nakapasa ba talaga sila. Sige daw, be? Block 3E. Tama ko? Ay, 3E, 4E day. 4E as in eagle. Okay. We only have 3 submissions. Yung iba, hindi ko na rin alam. Bakit walang submission ang ibang groups? Sige. So this is 300 points by Okay. This one is Team Sage. Okay, Team Sage. Click mo na. Okay, ready na ba, Team Sage? Okay. Again, start natin.
Are you ready, spywars?
Aye, aye, Captain!
What's the bag inside the screen?
Fireworks, fireworks, that's the enemy!
What's that it trying to hide?
Fireworks, fireworks!
How do we fight? How do we win?
Don't backward, don't argue!
Together, spywars! Update and protect. Be smart and aware. Spywars, sneaky but we prepare.
Spyware ay isang uri ng malware na palihim na kumukolekta ng impormasyon mula sa iyong device. Hindi mo ito agad mapapansin, pero maaari nitong nakawin ang password, lokasyon, o personal na data mo. A sudden pop-up asks for sensitive information. May mga text o email na naipapadala mula sa account mo na hindi ikaw. Ito ang pangatlo. Your location or activity is secretly being tracked. Mabagal ang phone and battery drains fast. Nagbago ang homepage o search engine ng browser ng hindi ikaw. Para maiwasan ang spyware, huwag basta-basta mag-click ng unknown links. Gumamit ng strong at unique password. Mag-download lang ng apps sa official store. Basahin muna bago mag-accept ng terms and condition. Huwag mag-share ng personal information sa strangers online. Huwag mag-click ng pop-up ads. Regular na mag-delete ng mga files o apps na hindi na ginagamit. I-click ang reviews bago mag-install ng application.
Okay. Isang bagsak for Team Sage. Pakpak sa mo guys, grabe na. Okay. Now let's go to the second team. We have the group of function. Bidawbe. O pang grade 4, bagi di sa bagit. Ang sahin sa bagay, dapat grade 4. Diba? Okay.
Evening, gusto mo lang. Hindi mo dyan. Yes po, sir. Okay po, sir. Kung nasa ito, may pumunta po dito lang sa ito. Hello, ano bang nangyari sa documents ko? Bakit lahat iyon? Okay, wait lang, sir, ah. Okay, magpapatulong lang ako sa i-friend ko.
Okay. I will not accept that submission. Kasi nga, it's not following the instructions provided. Diba? Sinabi, dapat yung ratio 9:16. And of course, hindi po ako bobo. Yung mga videos na kinukuha ninyo, diba, I specifically mentioned it should really be coming from your idea, guys. Ang ginawa nyo is that you just clip and cut and then merge some of the videos in TikTok and then just have it edited. Okay? Hindi siya po pwede. So, hindi ko yung tatanggapin. Okay? Just try to have the other group, Dobby. Mas okay pa yung sa grupo ni Ramirez. I can appreciate that one. Isa yung naggumawa talaga. Dobby. Okay. Ang problema lang sa grupo nila ni nila ni Kalang is that if you notice, ngayon pa lang kayo nagpasa. Kalang, di ba? Sabihin, tingnan nyo kung anong lumalabas, di ba? Ano ang sinabi? Magpasa before a day before, di ba? Oh, di ba? Yan. So wala kayong points for today. Gets ba? Okay. So isang grupo lang yung may points sa akin today. Okay. Sige. Continue nyo yan, guys. That's really good. Continue nyo yan.